Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That means it's time once again for the Relic Grind, Ready Check Radio's Final Fantasy XIV, a Square Enix podcast. This is episode 76. I'm your host, as always, Mike Byrne, here to talk about Final Fantasy XIV and other Square Enix related stuff. Have a lot of fun. And today, it's my favorite time, right? We're closing in Live Letter next Friday. Patch shortly after. The doldrums between the patches. And so that means it's another episode of It Came from Reddit, one of my favorite segments on this show. I love it. I love it. So we will talk about some things on the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit. We'll talk about other things Square Enix, including a DMCA claim and a few other bits and bobs of news. If you're joining us live on twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, hype in the chat. Uber Fuzzy is here. Uber Fuzzy is here.
Woohoo!
Work servers were down. They were able to join us today. So Uber Fuzzy. And if you want called out, join us live sometime. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact or on ReadyCheckRadio.com, we certainly appreciate that as well. Or listening on iTunes and all the other audio places. You know what? Just go to ReadyCheckRadio.com. All the socials are in the upper right-hand corner. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, all of those things. It does help. It does help. We're closing in on 600 Twitch subscribers, gang. So
I know.
We're almost single digits away from 600 Twitch subscribers.
We don't have any goals
not
for
subscribers, followers. No, our next goal is 1,000.
That's right.
At
And
1,000, right? At 1,000, Mr. Adam Lane, Kronos here, has to dance.
At 999, he leaves the podcast.
Yeah, at 999, I get an email. Hey, not gonna be able to do it anymore. My work schedule changed. Oh, well, we could change to a different week. Oh, no, I work every day. What's up, Tark? Chris Montoya, a.k.a. Tarkoth, here to chat with us. What's up, sir?
Greetings, programs. Dude, I'm excited about more leaks, but then finally confirmations. Woohoo!
Yeah. So it's funny the way the show notes go together. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Shenanigans here.
Also here, Mr. Adam Lane, the Kronos one. What's up?
Not much. I mean, they should probably DMCA the PlayStation Store instead of what they're doing, right?
Yeah, right. They absolutely should. The Sony PlayStation Store leaked so many things. But before we get to that type of fun stuff, let's start with some Final Fantasy XIV stuff. Obviously, with the Live Letter closing in, we have got information on our special site for 6.2. This was actually just updated early this morning, so it was not in the original show notes. But we've already kind of talked about the art in the background and whether that buried memory is our La Habrea or if it's another version, another time maybe, La Habrea. But we got a few more screenshots. So first we've got the main scenario quest, Buried Memory. A few screenshots here as, you know, we try to help out. Things looking a little dark, though, Kronos, a little dark.
Yeah, it's almost like the Void's involved.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe
There's a portal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I just got to say, your dragon sister is boned. Like, don't, that is absolutely, your sister is, in fact, literally boned. 100% is going to be Bone Dragon for our boy. We'll see for sure. But I do like this third screenshot with the red and black evil looking Void character. Very cool.
Xenos' avatar, yeah, he looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it looks awesome. See, I didn't want to spoil any shush. Spoilers! Then we do get two snapshots of Island Sanctuary. Nothing that reveals, obviously, what we're going to be able to do there. The text does talk a little bit more about letting your minions run around, Tark, doing a little, farming / growing crops and things like that. But we do get not the overhead shot with a Rogadin on Dick Island. This is pixelated Dick Island. This is actual, of course, could change, I guess, right? Could always change.
Well,
Looks
it's going
pretty.
to change when people, interact with it. And I'm excited to take that pretty island, and I'm going to take a bunch of before screenshots. And then afterwards, after I make it a dystopian mining facility and show how I ravaged it, and then we're going to post that up. That's going to be sweet.
Typical American. All right.
Get all the resources.
Take the resources. Not all of us are like that, folks. Not all of us are like that. Then we have the Fell Court of Troia, if you want to put a little French on that. Looks pretty awesome. I like it. New dungeons.
I always love Final Fantasy XIV callouts.
Indeed.
You mean 4?
Four.
14 callouts. I mean, I would hope they're pretty good at that.
Yeah,
basically 4 calls.
Basically, everything in the game is a 14 call.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a 14 call.
My words, they don't work.
My words are broken. Then Sephiroth, a man of few muscles, just a few. Just a few. A containment bay, unreal. I was actually kind of disappointed with this screenshot, though, Kronos, because it was like, this offers absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they always just do like one for the Unreal.
Yeah.
It's not really much to it. I mean, it's already in the game, so
And
I'm excited to do this one though. So
they put a category here for main scenario revisions. Don't be confused, gang. If you're maybe a little newer to the game, they're not rewriting or retconning, which is kind of what that description leads you to believe. Like, they're revising. This is, adding in the Heaven's Word dungeons and things like that for your trust duties, and putting in some additional content for maybe people who just want to go it alone with some of that earlier content. And we get a list of the different dungeons from A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word that are going to be part of that. No surprises there. I mean, that's it. Not a lot yet. Not a lot. But next week's the week. Are you expecting any surprises in the live letter that you're not prepped for, Kronos?
I don't think so. But as I was saying before that you got in here, is this the first time they've like not shown anything for a trial series before the patch? Like, I don't even know if we're gonna get it with the live letter. I can't think of like them ever doing that. Like,
yeah, for the part 2 of Circle. Or no.
Like for the trial series. Yeah,
trial
like,
series.
I mean, we're pretty sure it's like a Four Fiends type situation, but like they won't confirm it.
I mean, we still have 3-ish weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they might add it. I'm just saying. I feel like typically by now we see like at least like a screenshot.
I wonder though if they're. I mean, as stupid as this sounds, right? Because we all knew who the Man in Black was right away. I wonder if there is a concern that tips who the Man in Black is if they reveal that the trials are going that. Again, I know that sounds dumb for longtime super fans like us.
But then, like, the people
they are overly cautious with spoilers a lot of the time.
But the people that don't know, like, they're not going to know anyways. You show them, like, Cognazo or something, they're not going to know who that is. If they don't know who Golbez is, they're not going to know who that is. So it's like...
I'm not arguing the point.
No, I
they are overly cautious with spoilers.
Yeah. And I think it might be...
We've seen Yoshi P at times where we're just like, dude, everybody you are talking to right now knows who you are talking about. Why do you not just say the name?
And we, Kronos and I were talking about this. It might be because it's directly tied to the MSQ. It's not its own side story like most of the other trials are. Yeah. So... if it's part of MSQ, they're always very protective of MSQ spoilers. So,
yeah, this could be the first time where every trial is MSQ related since ARR, I guess.
Since ARR, yeah, when we did the Ifrit on through, initially. So yeah, cool art, little bit of text. We're getting there, gang. Next week will be the big reveal. Obviously, we'll do the show Thursday. I would love to actually do a reaction or a live watch party with this one. But that's the weekend that Torchwick is moving to RIT. We're going to be doing a lot of prep Friday. So unfortunately, that's just not an option for me. I need to actually have some sleep going into that. So
then come over to Tarkov Gaming. I'll be up at 5 a.m. for this.
So I will catch it on the flip side. And then, of course, we will be talking about it that Friday, though, in the afternoon over at MMO Bomb on the Always Online podcast. So you can check out reactions there. And Q always does a whole big write-up recapping everything. So you'll have it all on MMO Bomb, and then we'll bring it back the following week when we just like we always do when we don't watch them live. What else do we got? Oh, the Moonfire Fair is coming up. Yay! Moonfire Fair! Yay! I really don't care.
The housing item looks cool, actually.
Don't care. No minions. I'm out.
No minions. That was the first thing. Is there a minion? Damn it. But that glam looks pretty nice for millions. Not gonna lie.
I think I've seen that glam on a billboard somewhere.
LOL.
Yeah. August 10th.
I don't see it on this billboard at all.
August 10th. So next week, you'll be able to take part, get your beach attire. Okay. We have covered, gentlemen, multiple times, a favorite of ours in Super Louis 64, right? Doing some goofy things with controllers when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV, using the Yu-Gi-Oh thing to play Arcanist, to using the ring fit wheel. Just all kinds of really interesting stuff. Now, this one is not Super Louis 64. This is somebody else. Okay? Goes by the name on Twitter of Big Milky. Big Milky, and I'll tell you what, I'm a fan. So here's what Big Milky did. Big Milky cleared first circle of Asphodelis Savage, playing Dancer with an old DDR dance pad. And this included movement. I think, what were the rules, gang? Like, if he had to res, he was allowed to hit the button to do that. If he had to emergency res somebody. To initially target the boss, he was allowed to touch the keyboard to just to get the initial targeting. And I think there was one more. Tark, do you remember what it was? There was one more. He didn't end up having to do any of those except for the initial targeting. But there were only 3 specific things, I think, that everything else had to be done with the dance pad. And they did talk about how it's mapped and like why they have to jump on the center button a couple of times to trigger different things, what start and select are for. It's a great video. Again, we have this written up on mmobomb.com, but you can catch it on Big Milky's Twitter as well. And got the clear. And I'll tell you what, the movement wasn't bad. I thought that was going to be the biggest struggle, actually. I figured, okay, while this is interesting, it's probably not all that challenging to fire your abilities as a dancer in a roundabout version of the rotation that you want, with the occasional mistake. But movement, I thought, was going to be a little bit of a problem. And Inner Circle 2 would be a nightmare.
Oh,
because
that fight.
yeah, on Savage with this dance pad. But they did get the clear, and I think once or twice he had to be like, hey, I can't see my character because of the boss. Please let me know if I need to move when X or Y ability goes off. Because, yeah, the one thing you couldn't do was camera rotation. He had mapped the keys to move the character, and so the camera view itself is locked on. There is no rotating that camera, but they got the clear, Kronos, and that's what matters.
Yeah, this reminds me, actually, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I think back in like 28, whenever Shiva was relevant, there was a guy who cleared it on the DDR pad and a Guitar Hero controller.
Nice.
And
dancing and jamming to a clear.
Yeah, he played Bard, I think. It was Rise of Mercury. Pretty
That's
sure.
fitting.
I think he still plays. But yeah,
fitting.
I mean, I don't recommend you do this. But like, if you're this bored and you want to do it, that's fine. It also like should give people like I still feel like there's a lot of people that are like afraid to do Savage. It's like this dude cleared on a dance pad, like
Okay. To be fair, as far as like, I don't want to say this because it's absolutely fun to watch. Like, and I don't want to badmouth this at all because it's brilliant. It's entertaining. Milky's got some great streams. Anyway, I highly suggest checking them out. But, I mean, there are mistakes in the rotation. There is clearly a lot of slack being picked up by a strong team, Tark. Not to diminish what happened here. It is impressive and fun to watch. But there's a little bit of a buffer built in by a stronger raid team here.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
an impatient one, I guess.
In the last couple of weeks, so everyone's like totally BIS and melting the boss. So like the DPS from one person, it's kind of a carry. But to really plan out your movements is kind of like a black mage a little bit.
And to not die.
Yeah.
That's key. Did not die. Mm-hmm. Did not die. Did not have to be res. It's just a fun video.
It's really
to
cool.
Watch.
Yeah, it's fun. Definitely check it out.
It's a fun video to watch. Did you guys see that NA was DDoSed this week?
Yeah, it happened during my raid time. It was sweet.
It happened during my stream. Like everyone was telling me about it. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. Like it does happen, but I hadn't seen, and I'm sure it happens more often than we know, right? This was just big enough that Square eventually did have to say something because there were lots of outages and stuff like that. So what happened during your raid, poor Kronos?
Well, we were supposed to start at 8:30, so we typically log on. Most people log on like 10, 15 minutes before, and at 8 o'clock was when everything shit the bed. And so my entire raid team had like 1,000, 2,000 player queues, and we weren't able to start on time. It was just frustrating. I mean, it is what there's nothing they could do about it, But it just sucked that they had to be the time.
They did have it at least mostly addressed fairly quickly.
Oh, it was fast. It was just everybody trying to get back in all at once.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and then all of a sudden had 1,100 person queues and stuff like that. So they did get it addressed pretty quickly. Tark, were you playing, or you said people told you during your stream?
Yeah.
So I assume you weren't in 14 on the stream then.
No, I was in 14. Because I actually never logged out for my morning stream. I made dinner and stuff and came back, and I didn't AFK out. So when I came back, I was still in, didn't think anything of it, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, 1,200 queue! Oh, I can't do data center travel. I'm stuck on Primal. Let's do something." I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then a little bit of research. Looks like there was a DDoS attack. They took down the data center travel for 2 hours to fix some stuff. But after that, everything seemed to be back to normal. So it looks like they were right on top of it when it happened.
Yeah, they were pretty quick. A few hours later, we got a post confirming that, hey, it was DDoS. Yeah, we're back up and running. We're running traces and trying to figure out, how we can prevent it in the future. The usual. Guys, I'm going to show you something, and I want you to chime in on what you think. I mean, this, nice little housing community.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not have a house, and okay.
Not for lack of trying.
Not for lack of trying. You still doing your lotteries.
Christ.
Okay. There's clearly a plot there, Kronos, that doesn't have a house on it yet, and I mean, some of these are kind of weird looking. What the hell's going on here?
My FC does a Paisa house. Ugh.
You need a new FC. I'm kidding. Your FC is wonderful, people. I happen to know some of them, so I'm kidding. But don't do a Paisa house. This is actually posted by Decibel5693 on Reddit. They have a friend that won the lottery, Tark. They won the lottery. They got their house. Finally.
Awesome.
Turns out, though, they've got it in a neighborhood where the rest of the surrounding properties are all owned by the same person across multiple accounts. And they really, really wanted that last piece of property. That last piece of property.
So they can own an entire ward.
So they could have the entire ward.
Wow.
So what they did, because this person won and wouldn't give it up, is that they are now trolling, quote unquote, that said person by creating ugly landscapes all around the house. All around the house. All right. Kind of a dick move, but not reportable, right? I mean, you know it's being intentional and everything, but in and of itself.
HOA, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's no homeowners association. So you can't, kind of a dick move. I think, actually, I agree with some people that commented on Reddit where it's just like, then make your house beautiful.
Yeah.
And then when people wander through this ward, it's like, what the hell is up with all these houses except this one? Because now we have a spite house situation, Kronos. You do not sell this house at this point. You hold on to this house.
I mean, I don't really see what they're trying to accomplish. I think the guy already won. He should just do what he wants. And it's not like really people wander through wards that much anyways, unless they're looking for houses to buy or there's like a party or something.
I guess the thing is like, hey, every time you come to your house, you're gonna have to look at these ugly houses. I guess that's like the mentality, right?
Oh no.
You just teleport in, you go straight in. You don't look at anything to the sides.
Yeah.
I would just laugh. Like if I don't know, like
that's their house. I mean,
like I mean, if that's what they want to do, man. This is again, it's like this has been a problem for a while. I've been saying they need to take houses away from people for a long time because of stuff like this, but they won't. So,
yeah, and I mean, this is, while funny, rather, not reportable or anything, but the tells from said person maybe. They're definitely reportable. They're definitely reportable. Congrats for winning the lot. You're in for a big surprise. I hope you didn't want a good view. All those plots are ours. Watch and learn. Again, nothing like clearly. There's no language or threats. It's definitely reportable. But would something happen? Probably not. So yeah, I mean, you do not sell that house. You buckle down now. You are all of us, my friend. You build your spite house. You do it. Do it.
People tell me the raiding community is toxic, dude. Look at the housing community.
Look at the housing community. It's awful. It's so toxic. And I guess since we're on Reddit, we might as well do a segment of it came from the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit. I need sound effects and art for this. We do it enough. Like a scary voice. It came from Reddit. Something dumb like that. Let's start with this one. And did you guys play by the rules? Because in the show notes, I said, please don't read any chat on this video clip.
Yeah.
I don't want something spoiled to the viewers. And I kind of didn't want it spoiled to these two if they hadn't seen it already.
Yeah, I've already seen it, and I've done all the sightseeing logs, so I already knew immediately when I saw it the first time what happened.
This is one of the happiest people in the world. In the world. This comes from Fat Knuckle on Twitch. Fat Knuckle on Twitch. Did the Kugane jump puzzle, which is still one of like the most viewed recent videos on my personal YouTube channel. I don't post anything there. I still get comments on that guide. Thank you.
Because no one really has. It's like you're like one of the only people that has one, I think.
Yeah.
Like a true guide, yeah.
Yeah. But Fat Knuckle did it. Did the Kugane jump puzzle. And then Tark nailed the lamppost jump.
Sort of.
Nailed the lamppost jump. First try, fell right. Oh, shit. That's the wrong lamppost.
Yeah, there's no sightseeing bubble there, buddy.
Oh. Look at how happy they are. In this entire clip that I'm showing you, you do not see Fat Knuckles' reaction when chat lets them know they have jumped to the wrong lamppost. So you don't get to see that reaction. So all the happiness and stuff there, when he gets behind the chair and has his arms on it, and I did it in one, I did it first try, so happy. Nails it. Look at this. Whoa! Jumps up. Headsets come off. It's the wrong lamppost.
Oh, that reminds me of Sekiro just a couple weeks ago. Oh my god. I feel so bad for the guy.
Do we know if he got the sightseeing log at the top of the castle?
I'm sure he did, right?
I mean, he's gonna have to go back up to get the lamppost.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to go to the top to jump off to get the lamppost. That's
Right,
all.
right.
And
Right.
I haven't seen the full clip, so I was just curious if y'all knew that if he actually got the one, because that would be like pretty. If he didn't get either one, I mean, maybe maybe some people just do it for fun, like don't really care about the sightseeing log. But
I have never been initially like I just saw his reaction. That's what I was watching. Like when I saw the initial clip, I know the feeling because I love the jump puzzles and all that stuff. And so I was just like watching. I'm gonna watch this dude's reaction because I know I was pumped when I got it the first time. Then after I saw him like jump up, take the headsets off, I'm like, that camera angle looks oh my god, he's on the wrong lamppost. Then I see in chat it scroll, you're on the wrong lamppost, and I'm like, oh my god, he is. And I'm like, oh, my heart broke for him, Tark. Absolutely broke. But I had to bring this from Twitter. Or from Reddit, sorry.
Yeah, and again, it reminds me of my Sekiro here on Reddit Check Radio. Hours of Lady Butterfly, and finally got the death blow. And I was just so ecstatic. I jumped out of my chair, ran around the apartment, only to come back and realize, oh, I have to do a second death blow to actually finish her. And she came back.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I brought another one, guys. I brought this meme because I like this. I like this meme. This is Tark every time he loses the housing lottery. Credit
I
to
don't have that.
Credit to DaCookieMon1 on Reddit for this, who also calls it every time we lose the housing lottery. And this is sad coping in the spirit of the narco meme, the famous narco meme. We've got our Choco friend. That's pretty accurate, Kronos. Pretty accurate. Yes. Well, I guess I shouldn't ask you. You and I have homes. Tark, is this accurate? Is this the way you feel?
Well, he's got just as many as I have. Technically, I have an FC house. He's got that. I don't have
I've got an FC. I got something to visit, and I got friends on other data centers that allow me in.
Do you have an apartment, Tark?
I do. It's not good.
It's not good.
No one wanted the apartments. Like they were such weird.
I mean, it's something. And it's the same size as the apartment in an FC house, but I wanted the location for teleports, so it's in Shirogane.
Next up, who added this? I don't know. You guys didn't put your initials. So.
That was
I didn't. So I have one not on here, but so they have to be Tarks.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Both of those are mine.
So this is from literally _12 on Reddit. I have achieved the best level with every combat job that I could. Nice. 69s across the board. 69s as far as the eye could see, Kronos.
You take that character.
2 jobs, though. He's missing 2 jobs.
Well, you can't unlock those up. He's level 70. You'd ruin it.
Yeah, he's got to hit 70 to unlock them.
So you take that character now, you put it on a shelf, and never play it again.
Never play it again.
Figure out a way to de-level them. There's probably some third-party tool. Just do that.
Did you guys see the characters' names on that?
Mental note, do not use third-party tools. Kronos is not advocating for the use of third-party tools. What'd you say, Tark?
Did you see the character's name on that?
I did not, actually. I wasn't looking at it. What is it?
Chicks with Dex.
Ah.
Yeah. Good job. Level 69 jobs. Good times.
Nice.
Noise.
What's this last one here? What is this?
I don't know. I didn't put that one up, did I? No, I didn't.
I don't know. This one I didn't see until too late, so I don't actually have the B-roll to show it. What is this?
Oh, Satch.
My buddy dodged Sanctity of the Ward while hysteria'd. Completely ridiculous luck. Posted by Dr. Walk It Off. Great name. On Reddit. Oh my god, it's a Tark video. Skip this shit. No, seriously, what is it though? I didn't have a chance to
It's
download.
a mechanic. That's a mechanic in.
Oh no, I know what I'm assuming I'm about to see exactly what it says.
You pretty much go play the lottery after that. That's what you do. Yeah.
That's got to be like your highest viewed clip ever, right?
It is. It's like 12,000 views.
Yeah, that's got to be your highest viewed clip ever. I like the first comment by Wetseek. What the actual fuck?
I like
it is impressive. It is impressive. And somebody else had commented that that's the second time they've actually seen that.
Yeah.
So pretty
I like
nifty.
I like the comments like, this is where Heidelin takes the wheel.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you see anything cool on the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit you want us to take a peek at during the show, by all means, send it on over to us. Contact at readycheckradio.com. Let's move over and talk about a little other Square Enix news. This is too damn cute. Just too damn cute. Look at this. Look at this. Square Enix is releasing a fantasy picture book starring Chocobo, approximately 40 pages, written by Chocobo Dungeon 2 scribe Kazuhiko Akoi and illustrated by Toshiyuki Itahana, character designer for the Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Dungeon. It's going to cost $18 in the US, 15 pounds in the UK. Follow the adorable Final Fantasy character Chocobo in a brand new picture book adventure. When their town is beset by monsters, tireless inventor Sid and brave little Chocobo work together to build an airship to save their home, but there's just one problem. How do you make an airship fly? The answer is with a magic flying stone. So the plucky duo set off on a perilous journey to find this rare prize. Along the way, they're joined by a group of heroic adventurers, friends of a feather, to help them with their quest. Yeah. I'm going to venture a guess, gentlemen. More 40-year-old men will buy this than children will.
I'm buying it for my 4-year-old. I swear.
Get the fuck out of here that you're buying it for your 4-year-old. You know I'm buying one of these things, and my youngest child is 15. You know I'm buying one of these. This is actually part of a whole project, though, Kronos, where they're doing 5 different books. This is just one of them. They're also doing a near replicant version 1. Blah, 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 blah. Project Assault Recollections, File 1, English translated, and that's going to be a novel in a 2-book set, in a 2-volume 2-book set. Then they're doing Grimoire Near Revised Edition. That's going to be like the ultimate guide to the game with a bunch of like art and information and lore and all this stuff. They're going to have a little comedy series thing called My Clueless First Friend. So they've got that. And then Demons of the Shadow Realm version 1. That's actually by the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. So there's quite a bit on the literary front, ranging from children's books to manga, all the way through. I actually like this initiative. I've always wondered like why there weren't more Final Fantasy novels, right? Like I've read the Guild Wars novels. You know, I've read many of the Warcraft novels. Like, and there are a few. I'm not saying there's none. There are a few final. Like I've always wondered why aren't there more of those? Like they certainly would sell. Have
you seen the Final Fantasy movies? It's probably a good indication of why they don't make more stuff.
Hey, I like Kingsglaive.
It's not bad. Kingsglaive is fine. Kingsglaive is fine. Advent Children's also okay if you're like a fan of that stuff.
Yeah.
The complete version of it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not wrong.
We'll be buying those. Are you buying one, Kronos? You gotta buy one, right?
I'm not buying one. But I think it's smart to make it like a kid's.
You just want to borrow mine?
Yeah, I'll borrow yours. It's smart though.
I'll come down and I'll tuck you in and read it to you.
Oh, thanks, boss. Yeah. But people will buy for their kid, and then you'll have the 40-year-old men buying it for themselves. So you hit both markets.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. It's too cute.
Yeah.
I love the art, and all the Chocobo's dungeon stuff's great.
Now they just need to
Chocobo
leave
GP,
space.
not so much. Not so much, Square. You fucked me on that one.
They need to leave space in the descriptions so that they can add the NFT stuff for the digital upgrades.
You just
down
get
the road.
the cover of the book. You have to buy all the NFTs to fill the book up.
Right.
Yes.
It's the
don't own it.
2022 version of the old sticker books we had as kids. Where you bought the packs of stickers and, oh shit, I got that one. I'll trade it with a friend. No, now it's NFTs. Now that's our sticker books today.
Ugh.
I don't want to live here anymore. Hey, check this out. So, Journey director Genova Chen has not and will not play the Final Fantasy VII remake. And I know that who cares, right? But I thought it was kind of interesting because didn't we all kind of feel this same way? Like, so obviously Genova's not their real name. They changed their name in school when they had to pick English names, and a friend of theirs took Cloud. So they thought they'd be even cooler and take Genova. And they've made Journey and Sky, both beautiful, beautiful video games. If you've never checked them out, please do. But this is what they said when they were talking about Final Fantasy remake. I didn't play it. I don't want to ruin my memories of Final Fantasy. I choose to seal my memory the way it was when I first played it. And when I read that, I was kind of like, we all kind of felt that, didn't we? Like, we were all like, oh, I don't know if I want to play this. Before we like saw video of it, before we saw their direction, when we just knew that they were doing it and it was a for sure thing, like it wasn't a rumor or anything like that. I know I certainly was like oh God, please don't screw this up because I don't want my most recent memories of this to be the screw up. Now, luckily they didn't. They did a fantastic job. And as we started to see more, I moved away from that, and I was like, okay, I think they're treating this the way it needs to be treated, and I'm gonna love it, and I do, and we'll see how it finishes out. But did you have any trepidation, Kronos, when they were announced that they were gonna remake this? Was there any of that? Do I really want to touch those memories? Because all three of us have said, while we would obviously play a Chrono Trigger remake, that is one that we kind of maybe don't want to see remade, because of what could potentially happen where it not being that great.
So this might be kind of a long answer.
Take your time.
Final Fantasy VII's like one of my favorite games ever. Maybe the best, like maybe my favorite personally. So, I mean, I remember when the tech demo was shown, I already wanted it. Like, so
you talking about the original one way back on the PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, but what I wanted was I just wanted the graphics, keep the story. I just wanted the same game that looked pretty.
Yeah.
That I could play with like new stuff. So my trepidations come more after the fact. This guy has a lot of willpower, though. I'll give him that. Like, I don't know if I could just sit on the sidelines and just be like, I'm not going to try that when like.
Well,
it sounds like
what I do think is weird on that point. I'm going to come back to you, but I think you're dead on there, because it's like, hey, you have seen the critical acclaim of the game. You have seen the people that have loved Final Fantasy VII, like you, acknowledging that, hey, this is done really, really well. Why wouldn't you play it at that point? Like, I get the point of view prior to, because I had a little bit of that too. But once you saw it and you see all the feedback on it, I don't get, unless you just don't want to play it, which, hey, that's more power to you, I guess.
I mean, he might not want a different story either. He might just want to lock this memory. I get that. I get that point of view. I couldn't do it as a big fan, but I mean, maybe he's like himself. He thinks he's better off for it, and I respect that. I think with the Chrono Trigger thing, for me, it's more like the sprite stuff.
Yeah,
to me, is still so perfect that you don't need to do that game again. Whereas like Final Fantasy VII, obviously, you go back. Yeah, I love the game. It looks rough, right? I mean, would
you like to see Chrono Trigger redone in their 2.5 HD?
I mean,
no
other
changes.
Yeah,
no other changes. They leave the battle system alone. They leave the story alone. Like, they don't touch anything.
But they won't do that.
Just an overhaul. Yeah, that's the concern, is that they wouldn't do just that. Yeah.
Well, I thought they wouldn't do it with Final Fantasy VII. I was like, no way. They changed the story. They're just like, because I was prepared. I was like, dude, you can make 20 parts, man. I'll buy all 20. And like I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way, but I do think it's a great game.
Kronos is not representative of the rest of the staff here at Ready Check
I
Radio.
think,
We
no,
will
I think
not
the
buy
game is
20.
great. I think the game is great. Like I think it's like there's a reason why it won all the awards it won. Most of it's awesome. I just don't like the story changes personally. I'm still gonna play it to see where it goes and still have like a final opinion on it. Like I'm not gonna just stop playing it.
Right.
But I just prefer the old stuff. I would have rather have just seen the same thing. But I know that's not what everybody wanted, and I know that's not the direction they wanted to take it. So I understand.
See, I gave him a little more leeway on that. I didn't want to see like huge sweeping story changes, but I knew if they were going to break it up, that they were going to have to make small alterations to the story just so that each thing was more or less a self-contained story.
Let me rephrase.
So I gave him a little bit of leeway on that.
Yeah, so I'm fine with like certain additions that like make sense, like like fighting Rude when you come back to Sector 7. I think that's great. Like adding stuff to the story where like it needs to be like more fleshed out to make more sense. I don't like changing the story though, even though you have that argument where like it's the sequel or whatever. I just wanted a remake, man, with like just the bells and whistles.
It is in a weird spot too, right? Because we're going into the second one with characters alive that shouldn't be. So like there are odd things that they're going to have to, work around or develop a little interesting. Going back, Tark, your thoughts on Genova's thoughts here.
I respect his thoughts, but I'm a person that feels that you can remake anything. I don't care. If I don't like it, I just won't play it. And I always have the original, and I'll be happy with that. I do that with games and movies. Case in point, when they redid Final Fantasy IV for the DS, I got maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours in. I'm like, you know what? I just not feeling Final Fantasy IV. I went back and I played my original cart, and I love it. And then when the Pixel remaster came out, I'm like, okay, this is Final Fantasy IV, just a little bit, prettied up. So I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't try it. And if you don't like it, go back to the original. It's still there.
And at that point, it was too late for Tark to get a refund. He had played too much. Pixel remakes were good. They were good. Yeah. Still needs to be a all-inclusive set for the Switch.
And the PS5.
But I will say this. Steam Deck, baby. They're mobile for me now. Tark. Yeah, baby. Don't you roll your eyes at me, Kronos.
Hey, man.
$750 piece of hardware so I can take
some
Pixel
some
Pixel remaster on the go. I own them on Steam. It's the Steam Deck, baby.
If only they ported those to Game Boy Advance, man. 20 plus years ago.
Hey, so check this out. Obviously, like Square Enix sold the Western developers, and that included Tomb Raider with Crystal Dynamics to Embracer. But that sale is not final yet. It's important to note that sale is not final yet. Still needs a couple approvals here and there. Usual stuff, nothing untowards or out of the ordinary. But that does mean that Square Enix is technically, at the moment, still in charge of Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
And it is reported on that before that we are going to see another Tomb Raider game. Another Tomb Raider title. And it was working under the project named Jawbreaker. That's what people believed Project Jawbreaker was Tomb Raider game. Square Enix issuing a DMCA takedown to Patreon. Why? Because in an episode of the Sacred Symbols podcast, host Colin Moriarty and team were reading from a leaked, rumored to be script of the new Tomb Raider game. And Square Enix, because the content was put up on Patreon for their, there's edited versions elsewhere, but this specific version had the entire thing. They DMCA'd Patreon, and this is according to Colin, to have them ask us to take down the offending audio of us talking about the new Tomb Raider game. Now, at the time, a couple of days ago, according to Video Game Chronicle, no other platform that they distribute on had received the DMCA claim. Yeah. Kind of weird. Like, Nintendo abuses the shit out of DMCA all the time. All the time. Particularly when it comes to YouTube and their video game content. I mean, they abuse the shit out of it, filing claims that don't fall under DMCA, and Google just kowtows because it's Nintendo and they spend a ton of money. This is a weird one for me because, like, technically, Tark, the material would be copyright owned by Square at the moment, right? Any assets or scripts or proposed development for a Tomb Raider game would be owned by Square right now. Are they talking about copyrighted material and reading that copyrighted material? Yes, technically speaking, if the script is legit, is the other thing, because it is a leaked script, then it gets a little gray. Here's the problem for me. If you don't want to acknowledge that this is legit, it's kind of like we saw, weeks ago, something else like this with Konami, right? When you try to DMCA take this, you are validating that it is actually a Tomb Raider script at that point, or you clearly have, or you have no DMCA claim at all. What do you think, Tark? Should they have to take this down? I mean, they didn't show the script. They were reading from the script. If I pull a movie script down right now and the three of us reenact it, reading from the script, not using any of their copyrighted footage, not using any of their copyrighted music, should that leave me open to a DMCA takedown by whatever studio made said movie we were reading?
No. No, it shouldn't. This is just abuse. And maybe Embracer was like, what's going on? You guys need to do something about this. This is going to be ours. I would have just left it alone if I was Square, because they're just trying to sell the properties. So I'm wondering if someone's pressuring them to do it. Otherwise, it's just their lawyers being complete jackasses.
Kronos, you're rolling your eyes too?
I mean, this is like bullshit in the highest form.
Yeah.
Again, I've said this like 1,000 times on here. I'm a big Marvel fan. Marvel leaks happen all the time. They don't
most of the time by their cast. Did I say that?
Yeah. Ruffalo. But like a lot of times they won't, like, Marvel's not going to come out and bring any validity to the leaks because they know better. They'd rather just let and it brings publicity to your thing too. Like if it's like popular people like talking about, even if it's wrong, like, but now that you've like DMCA'd it, you've basically said this is the script. And then also, like, if it's a good script too, like, people are still it's not gonna stop people from buying it. This just sucks. This is stupid. I think it definitely falls under fair use. I don't know if they're gonna really be able to fight back or not, but I think this is trash. Personally,
it's a matter of the lawyers, striking things down and assuming that no one's going to be able to afford to fight them in court and whatnot for this. So it's just abuse.
So yeah, Tomb Raider script, totally legit. In the show notes for this week, I had done them yesterday. And then typically, if anything happens in like the last 24 hours, like the special site, right? They get added to the show notes when I see it in the morning. So I got on at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, the special site's up. Let me go add that to the show notes real quick. I know for things like that, the guys will have seen it, so I really don't say anything. Sometimes on smaller things, I'll ping them. Hey, go check the show notes. There's an update to this that you need to be aware of. And so I thought we could all just have a good laugh at Tactics Ogre's expense again, because earlier this week, it leaked from that the game had been rated in Australia. Rated M, by the way, for mature, so we are going to hang on to some of the more mature themes that were in the original. Good to see. And this is a game that still, by the way, at that time had not been confirmed. We've had 2 PlayStation Store leaks, the first one being art, the second one being art and a release date, about a month apart with no confirmation from Square. And then we had this. But lo and behold, gentlemen, this morning, all doubt, if you had any, for whatever bizarre freaking reason, about Tactics Ogre being a real thing. It is a real thing. Square Enix press releases went out today. New trailer out. What'd you think, Tark? Because it looks pretty awesome.
I want to say day one purchase, but there's God of War and Harvestella, and no, it's a day one purchase.
Did you just say Harvestella?
I'm getting interested. The stuff they're putting out is getting interesting.
Aren't. Come on.
I'm at like a 40% on maybe purchasing it day one. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna show a picture of Harvestella next because we did get a little information on it this week, like plot wise. That was it, but whatever.
Yeah, this game looks really good. It's really cleaned up. The UI looks so clean, and they've adjusted some of the quirks with like leveling, which I am a big fan of because going into a battle with all archers is kind of dumb. But yeah,
as much as I
great.
like the original art, I'm glad that they did updates on the PSP art is what they're using here. Updated versions of that. I really appreciate it. This is absolutely a day one for me. If it would have been real. If it would have been, we don't know. Oh, we do know. Well, okay, we do know now. We do know now. It's real. It's real. It's real. Kronos, do you care?
Yeah, this is day one for me. I mean, I buy like every tactical game.
And Newest Girl bringing up, a great point. If you want more Tactics remasters, you got to buy the ones that they put out. If Tactics Ogre doesn't do well, even though it might seem ridiculous in your brain, right? Final Fantasy Tactics, if you want a remake of that, you probably want to pick this up.
And maybe Dial.
I know in your brain you go, well, Final Fantasy would obviously like sell more than Ogre Tactics. Yeah, it would. But that's not how Square thinks. Square 3 million sales underperformed. Right?
Sell off the studio.
Right. Sell off the studios. They'll look at it and go, it doesn't matter if Final Fantasy is a bigger brand and Final Fantasy Tactics is, loved more than Ogre Tactics globally. This one didn't sell. Why would we make another one? Vagrant Story Remaster, when? That'll never happen. I don't think that one will ever happen. And we do know a little bit more about Harvestella. So what the hell interested you here, Tark? It's not like we got like big splashes of information that were like, oh, this is totally different than what I thought it was going to be.
I didn't know that there was combat jobs. That sounds pretty cool. And it's got 5 seasons. Quietus is still weird, but it looks pretty. I'm liking it more. It's the needle moved up for me.
It's still a 0 for me. What about you, Kronos?
I can't remember what I said last time, but it's probably about the same. I mean, I'll keep my eye on it. It's not a 0.
I'm just not into these types of games. I'm not into like the Stardew Valleys, the Animal Crossings. I'm just not into those.
I can't play them either, to be honest. But the only thing that would sell me is if the combat's got to be really good if you want me to do chores.
I am worried about because they said there's a party and I guess it's AI controlled. So we'll see how that goes.
Let's head over to Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the way we end every episode of the Relic Grind here. It's where I give you something Square Enix related. Could be a game, a press release, something they did in the game, something they're selling, NFTs, whatever. And you tell me whether you love it, want more of it, or leave it. No gray areas here. One or the other. And of course, I've got to come back. I think I know where everybody's going on this one. But let's talk about Square's DMCA claim. Love it and being protective of something that is rightfully theirs and maybe not wanting things spoiled for the public, or hate it. Misuse and abuse of the DMCA takedown system, needlessly confirming rumors. What do you got, Tark?
Hate it. It's abused way too often. Fair use is there. This to me falls right under it. Under fair use. Yeah, this is just gross abuse of their power, and it happens way too often in the industry. So leave it. Absolutely leave it.
Kronos, I wonder where you stand on this.
Yeah, this might be the easiest one we've ever had. Honestly, yeah, this is terrible. Maybe we had one on NFTs, maybe. And that one was probably really easy.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's just bad. Like, you're just ruining stuff for, like, I don't know, like, just let people have. You're also bringing validity to it, which is just even more dumb.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, 100% you confirm that the script is legit when you do this. Konami did the same thing with, I think it was a Silent Hill related stuff. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have to go back a few episodes of Gaming Gumbo. But, you know, and you're just like, okay, well, then you're absolutely confirming that that's real. You know what? I'm going to love it just to be different. I fucking hate it. I can't even love it just to be different from the two of you. I just can't. I hate it. Absolute abuse of the system that already is so stacked against the small person, the small content creator, that this is just and by the way, I mean, they are not small. They are a much bigger podcast team than we are, so I'm not impugning their channel size. It's very big. But I'm talking about DMCA. It's already stacked against us. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. No Faye streaming today. She's feeling a little under the weather. She'll be back next week. And no Gaming Gumbo this Saturday or next Saturday. This Saturday, baby, it's Final Fantasy TCG pre-release weekend. Opus 17 looking pretty dope. Lots of cool stuff. Of course, we'll talk about some of those cards next week when we do our Legends review. So make sure you stop on by. Tark, we may give you off, I think. If the guest host,
you guys are the ones that play it.
Yeah, if the guest host pans out, I'll let you know.
You play just as much as me.
We might have a guest host next week to go through the Legends review. And no Gaming Gumbo the following week. So we'll be moving Torchwick into college. So yeah, the next 2 Saturdays, no Gaming Gumbo, no Torchwick. All other streams and shows, including this one, including Tarkoth's stream on Saturday, Sunday, my Monday streams, like all of that stuff. Faye, if she's feeling better, all that stuff's good to go. It's just Torchwick and Gaming Gumbo that won't air this Saturday or next Saturday. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of The Relic Grind. Until then, Kronos, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, same as always. Twitter. I'm running out of mounts to get in the game. It's crazy.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I think I'll only have 3 left.
Wow, that's impressive, dude.
Well, 6.2 comes out, so you'll have a few.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't remind me. I'm sure Island Sanctuaries is going to be awful. For me.
More minions and mounts, please.
Tarkoth.
You can find me Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoth Gaming, playing Final Fantasy XIV 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then here on Ready Check Radio Saturday and Sunday night, where we're doing cleanup and completing our first playthrough of Sekiro.
That's what you're doing Saturday and Sunday this week? Because I'm going to set your stream up right after this show.
Word.
Sekiro.
Word.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there at Magic Man 1. But more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO on Twitter. And you'll know every time we go live with a podcast or a stream of any type, whoever's streaming. Until next time, gang, stay safe. And we'll see you on the servers. Later.